doing? What are you doing? Hey, yeah? Yeah, yeah. Pinky boy. How you doing? How you doing, Hugh? You Snoopy? Yeah. Well, hello friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a week in my life. I'm so excited that you're tuning in to today's video and just to tag along with me for a week in my life, because there's honestly a lot that I get up to in a week, tons of random things and so much more than just sewing and fashion. And that is why I love filming these videos, because I love to share like all the different facets and parts of my life. And I know that anytime I have showed snippets of farm life or talked about them, you all have asked to see more of the farm, and so I'm hoping to share more with you in today's video of all of the things that are happening on the farm right now this spring. Today is Tuesday, so I guess this video isn't a total week in my life because I kind of skipped over Monday, and there's a couple of fun things on my to-do list this week that I'm hoping to accomplish, so I thought it would be fun to film this vlog and take you along with me to kind of show you what those things are and just chat and catch up along the way. As you've already seen, I already had a fairly busy morning accomplishing farm chores, which is really what a typical morning looks like for me. I wake up, my husband makes me delicious coffee, and then I head outside to feed all the animals and check on them. And so you already saw all of those clips at the beginning of this video, and I was realizing this morning as I was doing farm chores that the last time I did like a week in my life and actually showed snippets of the farm was back in December, I believe. So it was winter, it was cold, and since then we literally have an entire new generation of animals here on the farm. So last fall, you might have remembered our 8 Icelandic sheep, 2 rams, and 6 ewes, and since then 5 of the 6 ewes have had babies. So we've literally doubled our number of Icelandic sheep because most of the moms had twins, and so you probably saw some of those babies in the clips from this morning, although they're not quite babies anymore. They have gotten so big, and so the sheep have multiplied. You saw the ducks in clips from this morning, and if you watched the week in my life vlog from December, you probably remember me showing you some ducklings that I had gotten for my birthday. Well, those are the ducks from this morning's clip. They have grown. We ended up with only like 1 female, which was really sad, but she started to lay eggs, and we actually have a ton of duck eggs currently in the incubator upstairs, and our first batch of ducklings is scheduled to hatch this week. And so I'm really excited to share and show with you the brand new ducklings. This is our first batch of ducklings that we've actually incubated and hatched ourselves. We've incubated and hatched chicks 2 times. So again, if you remember any chicks that I showed you in December's vlog, those chicks are now grown chickens. Although sadly, if you remember me talking about the fox attack that happened to our chickens, a lot of those chicks that we hatched actually were victims of the fox attack. but we did end up having 2 roosters that survived from that batch of chicks that hatched, and 2 really awesome hens. But now we have over 40 chicks from our laying hens again, and so we are just multiplying the chicks. The ducks are bigger. We added 3 geese into the flock, 3 female geese, and so that is really exciting. We have a new cat that emerged from the woods and is now like our outside farm cat. So there's a lot happening on the farm, a lot of life, a lot of excitement and joy, and so I am excited to just share all those snippets with you of my week and of all the animals and everything that I get up to. So just kind of a rundown of some of the things that I need to get accomplished this week. I obviously have to do work for my job, which I think I've mentioned that before. I also have a sewing project that I need to work on and film for an upcoming video, and then I also just have like a little bit of gardening that I need to do. I've slowly been adding things to my garden, so I want to take you along with that because I don't think I've really shared the garden in any of these vlogs, and the garden is such a fun, exciting part of my spring and summer and early fall life here in Wisconsin. And I also want to do a little bit of like flower planting and sprucing on our porch. So we might go flower shopping and visit a couple plant nurseries and pick up some things. And I just want the porch to look even more fun and pretty and exciting. And also this weekend on the farm, we have our first wedding of the year. Usually there's anywhere from like 1 to 3 weddings every year on the farm for friends of my in-laws. And so that first wedding of the year is this weekend. So I do want to make sure that our porch looks really nice because it is visible from the venue space where we live in our tiny house, and so I want it to look like fun and cute and all of those things. So yeah, there's a number of things to get up to, a lot of farm life things. The other thing that I really have to do today is mix up bread for the week and mix up our sourdough. So I will take you along for that process and kind of show you how I make sourdough, and then we'll see what else we get up to this week. So without further ado, grab your current sewing project as this plays in the background, or grab a cozy cup of coffee or tea and tune in for what a week in my life looks like. Alright, sourdough is mixed up and is sitting in the bowl to just prove and rise. So I'll come check on that in like 4 to 5 hours and see where it's at. Pop it in the oven when it's ready, but I just made a protein shake and now I'm headed to the sewing cabin and get started on the work that I need to get accomplished today. Also, this is today's little outfit. It's this fun dress. It's called the Petal Dress from Nammy Dressmaker on Instagram. I'll link it in the description of this video. Today is what? Like, is it the 26th or 27th of May? So anyways, we are nearing the end of Me Made May. When this video comes out, it will be June. But I've been trying to wear homemade pieces pretty much every day in May, and I think I've accomplished that and done that pretty much every day except maybe 3 or 4, and I've posted a majority of those days on Instagram. So if you're curious about all of my homemade pieces that I wore in May, you can go check out my Instagram and see that. But this is today's fun little outfit. But anyways, enough chatting, it's time to be productive. Okay, I finished the amount of work that I needed to do today for my like actual job, and so I worked on scheduling some posts. Now I'm going to work on some video editing that I need to do for an upcoming video. I have to send part of it off for approval with a brand for an ad read that I'm doing, and so I want to get that done early so that that gets approved before the whole video is even edited. That way when the video is edited, I can just schedule it and it can go live on my channel. But I actually am going to have to relocate myself to some place that actually has power because we have concrete workers here today working on pouring the foundation in the porch for our house, and there's one plug outside that like runs power to this cabin but is also the main source of power for anyone who's doing work on our house, and they usually have to use the plug to like charge their tools, and so sometimes I realize that my laptop is no longer charging and I no longer have power in the cabin, which becomes an issue when you need to sew. So it's probably going to become an issue later today. We shall see. But for now I need to just relocate myself someplace I can actually charge my laptop. But I'm standing in front of the door in the cabin and I'm literally looking out at the fact that they just poured the concrete for our little like half wraparound porch today for our house, and it's just so cool to be working in here, then look outside and slowly every single day starting to see different elements of our house come to life, and I'm just so excited. I cannot wait to share about this house like when it's all said and done, and share like literally all the fun DIY interior design projects that I've just been mulling over in my head and thinking about and dreaming about and planning, because it's truly going to be a dream, and I am just so excited for this project and just feel super blessed that we get the opportunity to build this house in an amazing place on amazing land. And yeah, it's just really cool. Finished editing the ad read that I needed to send off for approval, and it came out so good. I am excited for y'all to learn about this amazing resource and website, but also see the sewing video that this ad read is in. And also this is kind of my first ad read. I've done a lot of collaborations with brands or sponsored videos, and ad reads are a little bit different. So I love getting the opportunity to work with brands that align with the things that I love and the things that I am passionate about, especially in the sewing world with my sewing project. So I just sent that off. But now I'm headed back over to the sewing cabin. My husband said that the power is back on, so I have some sewing that I need to do today for my sewing project video. Well, I am calling it a day. Did not get quite as much done on this sewing project for an upcoming video as I wanted, so I'm hoping tomorrow is going to be a little bit more productive. So for now I'm going to call it an end for today, go back home, make some dinner, and I will see you all in the morning. Well, good morning. It is Wednesday and it turned out to be a very rainy and dreary day. So I'm about to head to the cabin and get started on some work for this morning and then get back to my sewing project. The goal is to potentially get this entire dress sewn today. I was planning on taking you outside and kind of giving you a little bit of a tour of all of the farm animals today, but I think I'm going to hold off and do that tomorrow or Friday when the weather is hopefully a little bit better. You can probably hear the sheep in the background, but my husband was so sweet. He knows that I have a lot of things I want to get accomplished today, and so he offered to do chores this morning since he doesn't have as busy of a day, so I really appreciate that. So I'm going to go put on a non-farm tour outfit. So that is that, and we shall see what I get up to today. One thing that I remember I needed to do today before I get started on all of today's work is come and check all of my plants for the garden. So this is the setup that my husband created this year for us to sprout out all of our plants for the garden. He has trees and different plants that he's sprouting, and then I'm obviously sprouting vegetables and flowers. And so this has been a nice little setup with the reflective panels and the grow lights. In the wintertime when it was cooler, we had a heater going in here as well. So I need to make sure that everything is watered, and I am seeing I just planted my squash plants like on Saturday. Today's Wednesday, and I am already seeing that squash plants are starting to sprout, which is super exciting. Some of my things have not been doing well sprouting wise. Like most of my flowers haven't sprouted yet, so I don't know if they just got too hot or too dry, so I might have to replant some of those. My tomatoes have sprouted, but they're just looking a little iffy, so maybe I should just transplant them out into the garden. But yeah, let me kind of give you a tour of my sprouting trays. Okay, so I just finished my main work for the day, and now I'm finally getting to start sewing on the dress that I started yesterday, and I did not get very far. I realized I need to extend the ruffle that I'm putting around the collar, and that's like one of the first steps. So anyways, we're gonna dive into that today and see how far I get. Hopefully I'm gonna get kind of far. All right, I just finished sewing the ruffle around the collar, and it's so cute. This collar is like the focal piece of this dress, and I am obsessed. So I'm going to set this aside and now start working on the bodice so that I can then attach the collar to it. All right, I just got back to the cabin after stopping to feel myself and eat some lunch, and now I'm back working on the dress. The bodice is like halfway done. The collar still needs to get attached. I am now pausing to work on the skirt and the pin tucks on the skirt, and once this is done I will attach it to the bodice. I'll probably work on this for another couple of hours, and then it will be time to pause for date night, because Wednesdays my husband and I have kind of like a standing date night on our calendar, which usually just means like hanging out at home, but just being more intentional about our time and spending time together than a typical weeknight. So he's actually making dinner tonight, which so great and wonderful, so that I can keep working on this project and hopefully get some more done on it. Good morning. I am just sitting here finishing up my coffee and finishing up my breakfast before I head outside to do farm chores this morning, and I am going to take you around and kind of introduce you to all of the animals and tell you their names, the ones that have names and whatnot. Actually, while I was eating breakfast, I was working on scheduling some social media content to go out, which usually I don't do in the morning at breakfast, but it's kind of been on my to-do list, so I thought I would just kind of get that done. So I like to try and post a handful of different YouTube shorts every week, and those really are just the same kind of content I'm posting on Instagram and TikTok. Basically, whatever I edit and post on Instagram as a reel, I will download that video as its edited form without audio before I post it, and then I will take that video file and I'll post it on TikTok, and then I'll also post it on Instagram, on YouTube Shorts. So basically I take one content and I have it for all three channels. And it's always really interesting to see how different things perform on different channels, because I'll definitely have shorts that do really, really good and some reels that don't do as good. Same thing for like TikTok videos. But anyways, it keeps me from having to create like the same kind of content across all platforms. So that has been super duper helpful. And it allows me to share like those little snippets of life on YouTube shorts that I usually am sharing on Instagram, because Instagram is definitely the place where I am way more like personal and share way more of my life. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, all of the links to my socials are always in the description of my YouTube videos. But head on over there, because I definitely share so much more about life. If you love farm life, I have a whole highlight on my Instagram where I try to save little videos that I've posted about farm life, but I'm always sharing things on my Instagram stories about just like, this is what the animals are up to today, this is what I'm up to today. So if you've ever been curious about like life behind the scenes, that's the place. And then my goal today is to finish sewing my striped dress. I only have a little bit left on it, so I'm hoping that I can knock that out in like an hour. And then I'm also hoping, fingers crossed, that the weather is like somewhat nice today. It's a little overcast, which I don't mind. I don't think it's going to rain. I personally would love if the sun comes out, because I really want to go film the reveal of that dress today. Then that means I can start editing clips together later this evening and then finish editing tomorrow so the video can go out on Saturday. So I've been trying to be really conscientious of everything I do this week so that this video goes out on time. But outside of finishing the dress and filming the reveal, I also have a couple errands I need to run. So I think we're gonna do that today, because I'm trying to set aside tomorrow as an editing day in addition to a couple of other things. So today we need to go to a garden center and I need to get some new plants. I have a couple of like grocery errands to run. So yeah, we'll see what else we get up to today and what we get up to the rest of the week. Wow, my eyes need to get adjusted to this light this morning. And as you can hear, the sheep are already being demanding. So I'm gonna take you over to the sheep, going to see if they come up to the fence, and I can tell you who everybody is. So they think I have food for them right now. This is Miss Spotty. She is a food hog. And she's very demanding when she's hungry, aren't you? Yes. This is Ginger, one of my favorite girls. This back here is Rammy, like our head ram. Oh my goodness, Bowie. What's going on? This is Coconut. And this is Baby. Come here. He is our one friendly dude. So I had to bottle feed him because his mom had a second baby and she just didn't feed this one. So he is super friendly. He's basically like a dog. And I just call him Baby right now. And he is the sweetest. The sweetest. Hello. This is Bowie with the horns. That is Coconut's son. And then this little guy back here, who's kind of speckled, is Baby's brother. And their mom is the black and gray one. Her name is Mocha. And then this little guy right here, I think is one of Ginger's babies. She had two. And then over here, we have Caramel with her babies. So she had one boy and one girl, and the little brown one is the girl, and her name is Hazel. Very unbothered today. She's also super protective of her babies, and they're always... Hi, Spotty. And she's always hanging out with them. She's such a good girl. Here are the rest of them. So again, that's Mocha, and then this is Hugh. He's our second ram. But this is our main ram, and they need to be sheared, so that's why they are like half wooled right now, because they've started to shed some of their coats. And then this is Bandit. She actually didn't have any babies. And these are the rest of the sheep. Spotty. He does. Yeah. And then as you can see, the chickens just live with them and they all kind of hang out together. Are you pouting, Spotty? Because you really want food. So those are all the sheep. We are now up to 16 sheep, 8 lambs, 8 adult sheep, and of our lambs, we had 8 lambs, all but 1 are boys, so most of them are going to get eaten. So anyways, those are all the sheep. I need to go grab the chicken food for the chickens, who you might be able to hear in the background. They want to be let out, and then I'm also going to go let out the ducks and show you all the duckies and all of our chicks that we have in the other coop. Okay, we gotta chase the geesies and the duckies out. This is what we do every morning. Make sure they all go outside. Alright, and these are all of our new chicks that we hatched out from all of our eggs. I think we have about 40 chicks, so pretty soon we're gonna have to split these up so they have a little bit more room, but lots of different combinations of chicken based on our roosters and our hens, but they're so cute. These are the mid-age chicks. They're gonna be joining the others soon. Today's eggs from one of the coops. There should be more in the second coop. Alright, looks like they're in different places today. Usually they lay back here in a nest or over here. Yep, there's Lacey. We got an egg here today, and we got some eggs in the back that we have to get. All right, these are today's eggs. Not quite as much. Yesterday we got like 3 dozen, so usually if they have a really big yield day, the next day is a little bit less. Everyone is happily chomping on their hay. All right, I just finished the dress. It took a little over the hour that I was hoping it was going to take, and the background is very noisy. But anyways, they're pouring our concrete for a slab of our house today, which is super exciting. Anyways, I finished the dress, so I'm headed to grab something to eat, and then I'm gonna head out and film the reveal of this dress. And I'll probably just wear it on my errands, so you will get to see this dress in the rest of today's video. And then also the tutorial for this dress will probably come out before this vlog. So let me know your thoughts about that dress and if you liked it and if you liked the tutorial. Okay, so it's super loud because there's cars all around, but I just got to the place that I am going to film the reveal for this dress. I've filmed and photographed a couple things here before, and I just love this fountain in this little garden. It's right across from the post office in the town near where we live. The only downside is there's always tons of cars just watching you. But it's not the end of the world. I kind of just forget that they're there sometimes once I start the whole process, so let's get filming. Filmed the reveal for this, snapped some photos. I was going to bust out my like really nice camera, but that's just such a process outside of just filming and photographing on my vlog camera, which in general takes amazing photos. I'm so excited with how this dress turned out. Now I am off to the flower store or the gardening store. Okay, I decided to make a pit stop on the way to the plant store, the gardening center, because I, one, need a specific mouthwash. I didn't want to go to Walgreens. I wanted to go to a place where I could check a couple of other things off my list. So we ended up at Target because I know I can pick up some of the grocery items from my list here. And I always like to get like a fun little drink at Target, not from like their Starbucks, but Target always has, you know, Poppy, all the other fun like healthy drinks. And so I want to grab something to take with me on the drive because it's about a 50-minute drive to the actual garden center. So we're gonna pop on a podcast, sip that, have a little snack, but we're gonna head into Target real quick. Okay, but for real though, this is like my new favorite little snacky drink to get at Target. It's from the brand Cove. It's a probiotic soda and it's organic, but the pineapple one seriously tastes like pineapple Fanta, which is like my favorite soda in the world, but obviously really bad for you because of dyes and all the things. So you have to check this out. So good. Not sponsored, but delicious. This is what I ended up getting. A very happy car. All right, mission accomplished on the plant front. I've never been to this specific plant place. It's called Gerton's in the Twin Cities. My mother-in-law always talks about how it's literally her favorite place to come to, even if just to like walk around and be happier. And so I had such a fun time, and I left just in the perfect amount of time because it just started to rain. And I'm just so excited with all the things that I got. And that's probably it for today. But anyways, at this point, I'm headed home, and I guess I will see you all tomorrow unless some pivotal moment happens. We had the ducks that hatched. So these are all the rest of the eggs in the incubator that should be hatching around the same time. You can sometimes hear peeps from some of them, but this is the one ducky who has come out and hatched so far. Good morning and happy Friday. It is about, I think, 9 right now, and the sun is just coming through the window, and it's so wonderful and lovely. I always try my best when we have sun to like get the morning sun because I feel so much better, and it's just so much more beneficial for like your circadian rhythm and having the right energy levels throughout the day and sleeping well and your body healing, all of the things. Anyways, I have lots to do today, mainly sitting in front of a laptop for like 8 hours editing a video. So I'm going to head outside, do farm chores, come back in, get ready, and start editing that video. I think tomorrow is when I'm going to do all the gardening and planting the flowers on the porch. So that'll be the fun part of this video that you can look forward to. Oh my goodness. I just finished editing and splicing and cutting down all of the clips together for the video that I'm working on. So I'm taking a lunch break to go fuel myself so that I don't become totally overstimulated and a cranky person because I've been staring at a computer screen for 5 hours. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm going to record all my voiceovers, and then I'm going to work on the upload process, work on editing thumbnails, and I think I'm gonna get this video out tomorrow, and I'm so excited. Good morning and happy Saturday. It is such a lovely morning outside. The sun is out. I sat outside, I soaked in the sun, I got some cat cuddles, I drank my coffee, and now I'm ready for the day. And then I need to finish planting the rest of my plants and flowers on our porch. Last night I set up and planted our herb box on our front porch, and then I did a couple of flower pots, just kind of like adding some more like little plants to them for some variety. But I need to finish the rest on the porch, and then I also need to go check on the garden because I have not been back there all week. So anyways, I will probably take you back there and just give you a little show of what the garden is looking like right now, which is really not much because we are in that in-between like ugly stage of things still growing and things still needing to be planted. So in a couple of months it will be gorgeous, but I do have all of my peony plants coming up and all of my kind of perennial things that I planted last year, in addition to some herbs, lettuce, things like that. So I might take you back there and just show you a little bit. But I will probably do like another vlog, I think, later this summer and show you more of the actual garden and do more garden work in that one. So anyways, I am gonna get started for the day. After I finish those things, we do have a wedding at the farm today, and I am helping with that a little bit. So between the planting, the wedding, that is taking up most of my day, and that will kind of be the end of my week. So I will check back in later. This is what he does in the morning. He just comes and checks out the porch like a dog.
Even though you're sleepy.
Look at you. You're so sweet.
So this is a birthing pen that I built for all of the sheep whenever it was lambing season. It didn't have a roof, it was just totally open, and we could slide this other crate over and give the moms and babies some privacy, but now it's just doubling as their little clubhouse to go sleep in or hang out in. And I've been meaning to add on to it since we have so many more sheep now. So now they have an additional room over here. These are just all built from shipping pallets, and they're honestly the best thing for working with and building with because it makes construction just so much easier, and they just look good because they're wood. Alright, I just got changed and I put on this super fun black dress that I've literally had in my collection for like 5 years, but I always forget about wearing it. So I pulled it out today and I'm headed out to help with some wedding prep. So I thought a black dress would be perfect. And black is usually like not my color, but I feel like this dress has enough fun stuff going on that it works. It's very like Dawn, very Christy Dawn. It has a lot of really tiny little pin tucks and fun lace. So anyways, I'm headed out the door to go help with wedding prep stuff. I'll probably give you a sneak peek like from far away of what the wedding is looking like later on. But yeah. Well, that is a wrap on a week in my life, and I got up to a lot of different things this week. Today is now Sunday, so I guess you all have stuck with me for a full week, and now that week and this vlog are coming to a close. So I hope that you enjoyed seeing tidbits of the behind the scenes of what my life looks like, especially what farm life looks like on the day-to-day. I would love to know from all of you what your favorite part was of watching this vlog, so drop a comment down below. Let me know which of the farm animals was your favorite, which one you want to see more of, if you would love to see more lifestyle, farm life, gardening, vlog type style of videos. I'm always looking to hear y'all's feedback on the type of videos and content I put out. I know typically it is sewing, like that's my brand, that's what I do. But there are other fun aspects to life, and it's really fun to share those with all of you as just life changes by the seasons and what my life looks like. So I hope that you all enjoyed tagging along and tuning in. As always, I know I say this in every single video, and I know I say that exact same statement. It means so much that you tune in to watch my videos, and it's so fun to share aspects of my life with you all. So with that being said, make sure as always to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to make sure you have also hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on new videos in the future, and I will see y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.